We would like to thank our amazing sponsors, TouringPlans Travel. Their destination specialists work with you to plan and book your trip. Whether you're traveling to a theme park, headed out on a cruise, or wanting to get away anywhere in the world, as experts in smart travel, their agents suggest the best itineraries and activities to fit your family's needs and handle all the reservations on your behalf. There is no cost to you or your family when using TouringPlans Travel services, and you may even save some money if discounts become available after booking. So head over to touringplans.com/travel and tell them Rope Drop Radio sent you. Now, on to the show.
Helping you navigate the Disney parks.
With the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.
You're listening to Rope Drop Radio.
Welcome to another Rope Drop Radio. Derek and Doug talking all thing Doug's trip report.
Yes. Went to Disney World, Derek.
You did. It's fun. You know, we went, and then I went, and now you went. So we've all gone to Disney World lately.
A very busy June for Disney World and for Rope Drop Radio.
It has been. It was good. And so hopefully some people listening right now saw Doug or I wearing some merch, some Rope Drop Radio gear, and they're checking out the podcast. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. So no new Patreons this week because we're recording this like 2 minutes after we recorded the Genie Plus episode last week. So if you haven't, check that out after this episode, of course. But we do have an Apple review that we do need to get to.
Yes, Apple review. Leave a 5-star review. We will read it on air eventually. And the reviews really do help the show with visibility. Yep. And the 5 stars help with credibility, I think, a little bit, Derek.
Some people like us.
Some people.
519 people.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, this one's titled Good Show. 5 stars by Mem Brian.
Okay.
I don't know if I got that right. These guys make me relieved to know that I am not the only Disney fan obsessed with park layout and rope dropping. A very informative show.
Nice.
We do care about the layout of the parks. It impacts things like
it does.
Don't go to the first ride. I saw people rope drop the treehouse at one point.
That's my favorite, by the way. Also, someone tagged us on Twitter a couple months back, the back of someone's head. Thank you. That means so much to us. Yeah. Hey, I see someone, like if you're rope dropping something dumb, like thank you for tagging. Please do. At Rope Drop Radio, all the things. Yeah. So, Doug, you just took an awesome trip. We are going to talk at the end, but I do want to give a shout out that you did do a brand new airplane and airway airline. There you go.
Called an airline, Derek.
Yes, you just did a brand new airline out of my hometown. Way to beat me to it. So Redway, Doug.
Yes, I flew on Redway from Orlando to Lincoln, and we will talk all about it.
All about it. I'm excited. So yay, thank you, Lincolnites. We finally have a direct way to get to Orlando. So let's talk about your trip. Why did you do this trip, Doug?
So this Disney World trip was really the sandwich around a 7-night Western Caribbean cruise on the beautiful Disney Fantasy that I took with my family. So we did a couple days before, a couple days after, cruise to Jamaica, Grand Cayman, and Cozumel, and Castaway Key in the middle. So that was the reason.
There you go. Yeah. Okay. So
which is a wonderful reason. And we will talk all about that cruise on Rope Drop on Deck. So make sure, if you're not already subscribed to Rope Drop on Deck, go do that, where Michelle and I will talk all about cruising and all the humidity that you find in the Caribbean in the summer.
Okay, good to know.
It was humid, Derek. It was very humid.
I can't wait to listen and follow along.
I climbed a waterfall.
Ooh.
Does that sound like something I should do?
That does not sound like something you should do.
Not. There's some video footage that also says it's not something I should do.
Oh, I cannot wait to see this as well. So you're going to have to find
it will get shared if enough people go watch it. Rope Drop on Deck. Yeah, the footage of me on the said waterfall will reappear.
I'm sure
my kids,
graceful and beautiful.
No, my kids have been laughing at it over.
Oh, good.
Over. They're so mean. Children are mean, Derek.
They are. I'm actually sad that they didn't text me this video or pictures of you.
You know, we were at sea, so
they don't have the best
trickier.
Service. Okay.
And then they it slid to the back of their mind.
It happens.
They've enjoyed other pictures of me, thanks to you, with the Tron thing.
It's a great picture.
I'm just going to say right now, not enough people have downloaded the Tron ride audio to make me happy enough to do anything like that
again. I guess go download it some more. re-listen
People,
to it.
get on that.
There you go, another
Anyway,
computer. Let's
onto the
talk
show.
about your trip. Where did you stay?
All right, so before the cruise, we stayed at Saratoga Springs in a 2-bedroom villa. It
Ooh,
was very nice.
that has been
Recently,
high up on my list to stay at. I'm surprised
and
I've not
it
gotten there.
it should be because it's been refurbished since the previous time we stayed there about 5-6 years ago. It is fantastic. Outlets everywhere, very nice washer and dryer in the unit. Like it's just fantastic. So many beds folding out of walls. I don't even know how many it sleeps. It's a whole bunch. I know Michelle's gonna yell at me when she hears me say that out loud, but it like there's a master bedroom, and then there's the second bedroom has 2 queens, and then in the living room there's one bed that folds out of the couch.
Is that
No,
where
it's the
Alden slept? Who
wall
slept?
couch. Yeah.
Okay,
Alden sleeps in the living room.
got it.
So the girls each had a queen bed. They're
That's
pretty
nice.
spoiled, right? Rough life. And then Alden got the one that it folds out of the wall, but it's also the couch wall bed. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then there's one that folds the other direction out from under the TV. So you have the 2 different Murphy style beds in the living room, and you have the full kitchen there. And it was fantastic.
Your kids are getting older, so your rooms are getting bigger.
Yeah, that's
And
kind of how
Disney
that works.
accommodates all
Do
families.
that. So, it was great room.
How's your transportation?
I had a rental car.
Oh,
I will
okay.
say that because it is a internal bus there, just like if you're staying at Caribbean Beach or a moderate. It's a really big spread out resort, so the busing is a little slow. We went over to the main building for something. We'll talk about where we went later when we're talking about food, but we actually drove over to the main building.
Okay.
Like we didn't walk. It's a ways. We
You have to
drove.
save your energy for the waterfall.
Yeah, I needed every ounce of it that day, Derek. Not gonna lie, climbing a waterfall really not on Doug McKnight's to-do list. My current
No
physical.
checklist there. Got it.
No, it happened though. I did it, and I'm still here to talk about it. But we drove over to where it's near Disney Springs so that we could walk to Disney Springs too. So it's a fantastic resort. I enjoyed it. The room was great.
So you stayed at Saratoga before your cruise, and then you did a handful of parks and attractions. Do you want to go through some of the attractions? Did you do Tron again, Doug?
I did not.
Oh,
I did not do
bummer.
Tron. So
Did your kids try to at least talk you into doing Tron? Or did the
Yes.
pictures say enough?
The picture said quite a bit.
Okay, I thought
The
so.
picture was very, they say a picture's worth 1,000 words, Derek.
That
And this is a
one was.
podcast, so we have to use all 1,000 words. And I don't think I have 1,000 words for that picture, but there's 1,000.
Yep.
Anyway, so they didn't try really hard to talk me into it, but we landed pretty early. And then as we're driving, our room became available. So we went straight to the room. Michelle actually worked for a little while because a stupid discount came out.
And she saved me money. Thank you, Michelle.
Yeah, from 30,000 feet. She worked the whole flight, and then she worked for a little while. Then we went to the Magic Kingdom. They rode Tron. Then we grabbed some lunch. So they get off of Tron, and they're like, how did that make you sick? That was the saddest roller coaster to ever make you sick. And I remind them Slinky Dog makes me sick, and they're like, well, okay, that tracks. But my kids made fun of me for a solid 15 minutes when they got off Tron. They were not super impressed with Tron.
Oh,
They're like, it's
interesting.
fun.
Was this Michelle's first time too on it?
Yes,
Okay.
all three of them. They're like, it's fun. Don't get me wrong there. They liked it. They did it multiple times during the trip. They did it the next day. So it was still good enough to spend the money on to get the individual lightning lane, right? But it was like too short for them. Like only a minute. It's not enough. For me, it was about 30 seconds too much, as you remember. But they did it, and they were like, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I think they like Guardians a little bit better.
Okay. Did you do Guardians with them?
Oh, no.
I
No,
know.
I did not.
Did you do anything this trip? Did you do some
I
rides?
did.
Okay.
I
What are some of
found
the
the
rides? You found a
I
trumpet
found the
squid.
trumpet squid.
Yay!
I found it. Yeah. So we
It's a
rode
thing.
Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. You ask for rows 7 or 8. You get to see the trumpet squid in all its glory for the most amount of time. When you get up to the person putting people in rows, just be like, I want row 7 or 8, and
Yep,
they'll look at you
I
like,
did that.
mm-hmm. You get this little nod of, oh, you know it's a
You want the
thing.
trumpet squid.
They know why people are asking for 7 and 8, and there's only one reason, Derek, because of you and I.
Yep.
Because
Exactly.
we've made it a thing. So continue, rope droppers, to go ask for rows 7 and 8. Make it a thing, and enjoy the trumpet squid, because it's one of the best hidden C-list characters in an attraction there is. There's also the little crab. It's fun seeing that ride from different rows, because it's a very different ride in every row.
Absolutely.
But I love that ride. It is not an e-ticket, but it is just fun. It's just fun.
Okay.
So we did some Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. The family went on Guardians, as I mentioned. They enjoyed that. I did not, though.
Okay.
You know what I did while they went on that, Derek?
What did you do?
I went to the Annual Pass Lounge.
What? There's a new lounge at Epcot?
I think the word lounge
is a very loose term.
Very loose. Like, I'm not sure what dictionary they're looking up lounge in, but it's an area of Sunshine Seasons that they have basically changed the tables to have characters on them. And you get a sticker and some M&Ms, and then there's Colligan water. That's warm.
There you go.
And nowhere to sit both times I went. We went with the kids later after the cruise. Just we needed a snack. Like, hey, we can go get some almost expired M&Ms, because the M&Ms are literally almost expired. It's
you looked.
Yeah. So it says best by June of 23.
That's it.
June.
Yeah.
It's not over.
No.
So
you're right.
Hoping it's
I didn't
best.
even know M&Ms expired.
It's a concern, right?
I thought that candy shell protected them forever.
These are the cookie M&Ms, like chocolate chip cookie M&Ms.
Right.
So maybe that's why they
M&Ms
expire.
and look up the expiration.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure I have Halloween M&Ms.
Yeah. So
all right.
I think it's just leftovers from the Halloween party. And so we went there with the kids thinking we get a snack, and they're like, "Oh no, we're out for the day."
That's hilarious.
Like, oh, that's they love the annual passes so much that they think you can get M&Ms and then you can't even get expired M&Ms.
I just love how they're trying a new lounge.
Yeah, so I got the sticker is the Figment sticker that matches the magnet that they're handing out right now. So make sure you go to the.
I got my magnet, and I traded some of my magnets.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. So. My collection is back to being complete.
Yeah, but I also went on Test Track,
Yay.
and Alden and I designed a car, Derek. We went all in on one of the features on the car.
Speed?
Nope.
Tire
efficiency.
Size? Oh, there you go.
We were over 100 whatever in efficiency. We were the third most efficient car of the day, and we lost every other competition.
That's hilarious.
Like, it was the weirdest looking car. Everything we did, we looked to see what gave us the highest efficiency, and we went that route, and that was interesting. And then we made it green because it was efficient.
Oh, there you go. Makes sense. So I know something else you guys did over at Epcot was Voices of Liberty. I have missed them a couple times, so I'm glad you got to hear them again.
Yeah, so I actually took them in twice. The family went on Guardians. I headed back there because that's where we were going to eat lunch that day, and I got to watch them once and then met the family for lunch. And so I got to see a whole different set, and then we went back after lunch and saw another set, none of the same songs. So here's the first set I saw. I recorded, they did a Phil Collins song from Brother Bear, so I recorded that one. I think I posted it on like the Patreon Facebook group that we have, but I didn't record anything else, right? Because I'm like, I've posted enough of that. The last song they did was the Star Spangled Banner. And I was like, oh, this is different. And then they start, and I'm like, oh, wait, so do we all stand up?
Oh, makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I have a hat on, so I got to take my hat off. I'm like, this is weird. And it's really ballady, soft, fluffy vocalist. And then they hit the part that if you're a trumpet player, you know, like fortissimo. And holy cow, they all hit that in unison just perfectly pitched. And I tell you what, the hair on my arms shot straight up, goosebumps everywhere. There was women crying, Derek.
And you did not record this. I mean, the 4th of
No,
July is in a couple days. You could have posted
I know.
this.
When they're talking about what song they're going to sing next, they're like, oh, a little song by, Francis Scott Key. And I'm thinking like, only song I know he wrote is the Star Spangled Banner. That'd be really weird in the middle of Epcot.
They're prepping for the holiday.
I guess. And I never heard him do that song, but it was fantastic.
Okay.
I was blown away.
I would never know because you didn't record it.
No, a recording wouldn't have done it justice because it would have had the weeping tears of the lady next to me. Like she was full on ugly crying. Like at the end of it, it was a thing. Okay. I did not expect that, and I'm trying to explain this to Michelle and the kids, and they're looking at me like, "You got goosebumps?" Like, okay, Dad, really? I'm like, that was just perfectly pitched, and it was really good. And it's a different leader than we've ever seen before. It's a lady that's been in the group for quite a few years, but she was first time we'd ever seen her leading, and she was leading both shows that we saw.
Oh,
so nice. I don't know if some people retired. It's possible.
Maybe. So they can't do it forever.
No, and a couple of them have. They're opening day attraction, Voices of Liberty. Yep. So, yeah, right. It's always impressive. Let's talk about
a couple other things you did. I know you did Nemo.
Yes.
Got to. It's a must-do at Epcot. So, I did it.
Let me talk about Nemo.
Oh, right.
So, it said 30-minute wait outside. And we're mid-morning. There's no... The crowd was light. It says 30-minute wait. As I walk past the cast member, I'm like, there's no way that's right. And she's just like, oh, that's what's posted. And I go in. We basically walked all the way. We stopped at the merge point to let somebody using a lightning lane get in front of us. And then we continued to walk up to get in our clamshell. So lightning lane at Nemo will save you about 2 to 3 minutes of all walking.
It does.
Because they walk straight in there.
Yes, they do.
They can't unqueue that queue. It's like
a
permanent
long queue. It's ridiculously long at times.
Like you walk like a half mile. It feels. But we got basically walked right on, and it was Nemo. But it was funny. I don't know where they got the 30 minutes from. Really worry about who decided to put 30 up there.
I don't know. Because trying to steer people away from that part of the park. Who knows? Maybe maybe they're full in the fish. Church Crush may have had. I have no idea. I'm trying to think of something. I can't. So next door is the Land Pavilion. I saw a bunch of great photos you took there.
Yeah, we did Soarin' and we did Living with the Land. Living with the Land. So in celebrating the 100th, I think it is, they have some Easter eggs hidden in the greenhouse area. So you can find little things that represent current and past Disney attractions. So the first one I saw was like a little Hot Wheel on a track. Like, well, that's weird. And then I saw a Figment. I'm like, oh, they're doing that. I posted a couple on Instagram stories asking people to guess. And one, everybody got wrong. It was Universe of Energy, people.
Oh.
It was a windmill and a dinosaur.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So, yeah. And they had Horizons. So not all current attractions. There were some former attractions. So it was interesting.
I still have some memory of Horizons, but it's fleeting, Doug. Every year just gets less and less.
The part in Horizons that blew my mind was that you got to pick how it finished.
Yeah.
Like you got to choose, and then it did what you picked.
Bring back
Horizon. Love that. That was awesome.
So, question, you did stay at Saratoga. Did you get over to Disney Springs? Because I know you make fun of me sometimes when I head over there.
I do. I am very anti-Disney Springs, so I thought, you know what? We're right here. I can walk over. Changed my mind, Disney Springs, on a weeknight, a Thursday night in June. It did not change my mind, Derek.
Oh, bummer.
So many people. Where are they all from? There's more people at Disney Springs than in the parks. Like, I don't understand so much. And, like, so I have asthma, allergies, so much vaping to walk through that it's a lot. So many people. And so went to Everglazed because I was on a mission to get a donut because John Self is after me to eat a donut. But
was it worth it, the donut?
it's good donut. It's as far away from Saratoga Springs as you can
It
get,
absolutely
basically.
is. I've been to Everglades.
It's like on a dead
That
end
is a
of a dead
long
end.
walk to get back there.
The only good thing about Everglades at that time of night is it was like the only place with food without a line. Like every other snack type place had a huge line. And because Everglades might have the worst location at Disney
It is
Springs,
so
there's
bad.
there was no line. And so I get up there, I order the s'mores donut, and then Samantha goes, "Oh, I'll have the s'mores donut too." And the
No,
guy's
you
like,
get two
"Well,
different things.
right. First of all, like Samantha, you're gonna get your podcasting or blogging card removed that you don't even have." But and the guy's like, "Oh, that was our last one that we just sold." And she's like, "You just sold it to us?" "Well, yes, just sold it." She's like, "Well, that's mine now. You can pick something else."
Oh,
So,
daughters.
so I went with the cinnamon toast crunch one.
Did
I
you at least get
think.
a bite of her s'mores?
No, no,
No?
she didn't share.
Oh,
She's
wow.
17-year-old girl. You don't mess with that.
I know you don't.
No. So, and then Alden, I'll take a plain chocolate donut. I was like,
Simple. He
I was
knows what
like,
he likes.
like, really, dude? You're getting a plain chocolate. Like, look at all these creations, and you're getting the plain chocolate donut. All right,
It's
well,
okay.
well.
Alden, I'm with you, man. I can't go crazy on the donuts.
But we got our workout. We walked all the way over there, got our donut, walked all the way back, ate our donut. It was good. Thank you, John, for the recommendation. If it was conveniently located right next to my room, would I have gotten it for breakfast and had it before the park? Sure. Yeah, that would have been fantastic, actually.
Did you see if there's a line at Gideon's?
Oh my gosh, the line. Yes, because it was a lot closer. So I thought,
Oh, yeah.
you know what? If there's no line at Gideon's, we're gonna pop in there and get cookies
I
instead
don't
of
know
a
if I
donut.
talked about that at my trip report. We
You
had that
did.
same idea. Just nope.
But it was like I don't know how many blocks long, but I'm like, these people know they're getting cookies. That line is so long. You could get in your car, drive to the other location, buy the cookies, come back, sell them on the street
Oh,
to
that's
the
a
people
good
in line
idea.
for twice. All this is going through my head, but it was already like 8 o'clock at night, and I don't know if the other location has stupid weird hours like the Disney Springs location, but like I'm sure someone has done that, and I'm sure they've been like, nope, you can't solicit. I'm sure they've shut it down, but you could go buy your own cookie, come back, eat your cookie while looking at the people in line.
Okay, I would do that. That'd
That's
be fun.
kind of fun.
Yep.
I mean, it's all the way across Orlando, but that line is hours.
Yeah.
Like that and Rise of the Resistance, I don't understand.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's
There
a
you go.
cookie.
It is. But I want to
might
try
be
it. The
life-changing
line has
cookie.
made me want to do it.
Maybe someday someone will buy a bunch of cookies and share one
Maybe.
with
I
us
doubt
without
it.
us actually having to go
Very
through the
g-
process.
Yes.
I love me some cookies. But yeah, Disney Springs, it was crowded. It was noisy. Didn't change my mind. Now, would I have liked to go there, eat at Homecoming or somewhere like that? Sure. But we didn't have those reservations.
Okay. Well, speaking of food, Doug, what else
Mhm.
did you do? How did you eat there at the parks?
Well, this trip was a little different than any trip before because Michelle has recently become gluten-free.
Oh, I didn't
Um,
know that.
Yeah, so not by choice either. So she's developed an intolerance, and so we'll talk a lot about that on the cruise trip report, which is probably already out. Go listen to that to hear her words, but me talking about it for her, which will only get me in trouble, Derek. Here we go. The first day we were in the Magic Kingdom and just needed something quick. Pinocchio's had a pizza that was gluten-free.
Oh, wow, I didn't
So
know that.
we went to Pinocchio's. Haven't been there for
Yeah.
quite a while.
No, years.
Yeah.
Pre-pandemic.
So we ate at Pinocchio's. You know what? I had the flatbread, the meat lovers. Wasn't bad. I'm not that picky, I guess. The kids had chicken strips. It was
simple.
edible. I think she liked her gluten-free pizza. It's new enough that she's not really used to gluten-free things yet. Like she still remembers what it tastes like.
Okay.
It's hard to know what she likes and doesn't like. So we ate at Pinocchio's. It was all right.
Okay. What else do we have? We're getting to the one I want to talk about. So
Yeah, we're gonna build up to that.
All
Dinner
right.
that night. We just crashed. Super early flight. We were tired back at Saratoga Springs, so we went over, ate at Saratoga Springs at Artist Palette. They had a gluten-free Philly cheesesteak.
Oh, I love me some Philly
Yeah,
cheesesteaks.
so it was like a Philly cheesesteak on, gluten-free just bread. It was weird looking, and she said it was good. It looked better than what I had. Mine looked nothing like the picture. Mine looked like a grilled cheese type sandwich with ham, and it was not. It was basically a ham and cheese club sandwich.
Oh, I do love
That
me a
was
good
like,
club.
yeah, but I want it. It looked more like a panini in the picture, and then when I got, it, I was like, it was so different than the picture. I went up to ask to make sure I got the right thing.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's the." I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right. I'm gonna just go back to my table in shame for asking." So, yeah. So artist palette, yeah, it was food.
Okay. Let's keep going because you're getting to the one I want to get to.
All
Where
right.
else we eat?
So we also needed a quick bite, and Michelle found something gluten free at Cosmic Race. So I had a burger from Cosmic Race,
Again.
and I will say this was worse than the burgers you get on deck on a cruise ship. But I
feel like
paid
you've
money
said
for
that
it.
sentence before.
It was not good. It
Okay.
was the kids once again had chicken strips, and they were fine. So
Okay.
I guess get chicken strips when in doubt. You'll be fine. Michelle was not impressed with her gluten-free option that she got either. So Cosmic Rays, not for the wind.
No,
No,
never is.
no.
But somehow we keep going there. All right, Doug, I
All
need to
right.
hear it. Last week,
I
or
put it
was
off as long as I
two
could.
weeks ago, I said Roundup Rodeo Barbecue was the worst dining experience I have had at Walt Disney World. And thank you. I had a lot of people agree with me. So they must be doing something wrong there.
I will say I got messages from people that listened directly to me and like, Derek really thinks it's worse than that had eaten there. So
No.
I got messages too. I didn't
Okay.
tell you that yet.
All right.
I've
Well,
been saving that one.
all right. Roundup Rodeo Barbecue, Doug. Here's my frustration. You went there the minute they opened. You didn't wait till the evening or later in the day. You rope dropped it.
Well, that's what we made our reservation for.
That's the smart way to do it. So you got the fresh. You know there is no for you there is no waiting. And actually, that's what I've gotten from all the messages for me was how many people ended up waiting 30, 45 an hour because of that. So Doug didn't have to do that because he made the 10:30 or 11 reservation.
It was 10, 10:45, 10:50, something like that. So we went in right at like 11-ish, right? And right to our table. We were the second people seated, and our server was hovering around us almost too much. Like he participated with us when, Andy was coming and all that stuff. Like we knew his name. He became part of the family.
Wow.
It was entertaining. But yeah, so we sat down right away and we watched the restaurant slowly fill up. But it wasn't full by the time we left even. So they were staggering things out. So I was kind of wondering if they were just going to fill it within 15, 20 minutes, right? Which would overwhelm the servers, overwhelm the kitchen, but they did not. So maybe that's something that they're working on changing because other people have said that happens really fast. They're overwhelmed and then they're behind. So, but I've also heard people have gone in the evening and been like, we sat down in 10 minutes. So I think it's a crapshoot depending on the day at this point. But going first thing, not going to hurt. That's for sure.
Yeah, you're going to get the freshest food.
But you're not just going to get seated quickly. Let's talk about the food. Okay, so we have multiple allergies. Derek, you do not.
That's
Our
correct.
food is going to be made separately because of different allergies. Not all of it, but some of it came out very different because of the gluten, because of mangoes, pistachios, and cashews, because of the tree nut concern, which is not a tree nut, but they wouldn't take that. They like acted like it was a tree nut, so we couldn't convince them otherwise. So some stuff was modified. So I don't know what all of the salads are like. There was something in the salad that was going to kill half the people at the table, basically. So one salad only Alden and Claire could eat, and they're like, we're not eating salad, so it's okay. But, we like the appetizers. I really like the bread with the jelly, the jalapeno jelly. Did you like the jelly?
I didn't.
I can't remember.
Didn't love the jelly, but
I thought it was good.
Okay.
It
I'm not a
hit
big
the
jelly
spot.
guy.
How do you not be a jelly guy? Who's not a jelly guy? I'm a jelly guy. I like jelly. Jelly's tasty. My peanut butter and jellies are 1 part peanut butter, 7 parts jelly.
Okay, good
The,
to
the
know.
type
When
that
I
make
make
a
you a peanut butter and
mess.
jelly, I'm going to do that.
If it doesn't squirt out every direction, you've made it wrong. So I enjoyed that. The salads, I don't remember anything in particular, but I do remember from the sides, the potato barrels were really good. I think Alden ate a whole. He asked for a whole nother one. He ate a whole thing of potato barrels. The mac and cheese, the girls ate multiple whole things of mac and cheese. Um, let's talk about the barbecue though,
Yeah, there
Derek.
we go. I fell asleep for a second. I'm back.
Hey, there's stuff that's good. It's edible. It's tasty. I'm not going to say it's bad. Ours wasn't bad. It wasn't. I am not a judge for barbecue. I don't do poll tests. I eat food. If it's tasty, I continue to eat said food. If it's not tasty, I will set it down and spend my calories on what is. I'm not afraid to just eat dessert, right? The sausage, I'm not a sausage person. I didn't even have a bite of it. Alden had a bite and said it tastes like a sausage. He put that back down. We're not
That's
really
funny. I
sausage.
actually thought that was an all right.
I'm
Here we
just not
go.
a
All
not a
right.
sausage person.
Yep.
The brisket was very fatty, very thin. I asked for more of it. The second one I got though was a lot thicker and a lot better than the first. So it really changed a lot over 15 minutes from that first batch to the second batch because we're a family of 5 with bigger people than you have. So we can go through the food, and so we asked for a whole thing again except a sausage. So the second batch of brisket was better. The chicken that we got was juicy, like you cut into it, liquid just poured on out. So that was good. Not a ton of flavor on the chicken, but guess what? There's 3 different sauces to pick from. So sauce it up. I'm not afraid to use sauce. You have the opinion that brisket, or not brisket, but barbecue, you don't need sauce. Clearly it's not good barbecue if you need sauce, but you know what? I like sauce.
Okay.
I'm a saucy guy.
You are a saucy guy.
So the chicken I liked. The brisket was okay. I think I had 1 bite of the ribs. I'm not a big rib person. I know someone's out there gasping.
I smoked a rack of ribs a couple days ago.
Michelle ate the ribs. Alden ate ribs. They weren't the best. I asked how they compared to Famous Dave's. Is just kind of a
Yeah,
analog.
no, you good choice.
Not quite as good as Famous Dave's. There you go.
All right.
But not. Trust me, I've had some bad meals on property, especially when they don't feed me because of my allergy. So
Have you ever had to wait an hour from check-in to sit down?
I would have left. So no.
Okay.
I would have been gone. I would not have. 45 minutes in, I would have been gone because nobody would have want to be around me because I would have been grumpy.
Okay.
So that's number 1 right there, especially if I was hot, wet from rain, I would have just been gone. So I don't know. I don't think I would have waited.
The ADR too.
No, I would have been at guest services and I would
Oh.
not have been. No, they would have taken care of that.
All right.
I would have left. I would have eaten something else and then I'd gone to guest services. If I had to wait an hour anywhere unless there was like a catastrophe, like the power went out, something like that, but they're just running an hour behind. No, I'm going to go eat pizza Rizzo just to mention again, to annoy you.
Yep.
I wouldn't have waited. So I probably would have left 5 seconds before they called me because it's how my life works though.
That is true. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's
but it wasn't horrible. I've had much worse meals at Disney World. Derek, I had a worse meal on the Star Cruiser the first time we went.
well, that's because you have an allergy and they didn't know how to feed you.
But they managed to feed me with my allergy, and they also brought gluten-free options for Michelle.
Okay. I will give you that one.
So everything, when I judge it, has to be through that allergy viewpoint, and they upped the Star Cruiser the first time. Now the Star Cruiser fixed their stuff and did better the second time, right? So, it's better than 9 Dragons, Derek.
Okay, let me ask this because I know you went there. Where does it rank against Regal Eagle?
All right, so that we ate there after the cruise. Food-wise, I think is a little tastier at Regal Eagle.
I agree.
Definitely, the brisket's better. I had brisket. Brisket's my favorite. So I had brisket at both Regal Eagle and Rodeo Roundup. Roundup Rodeo?
Roundup
Roundup Rodeo.
barbecue
Yeah,
barbecue.
yeah.
Now I'm messing it up.
All the words. I like the brisket at Regal Eagle much better.
I agree.
And I still put sauce on it, Derek. Sorry.
It's okay. I actually put a little sauce on mine. It was
So,
fine.
and I like the Regal Eagle better. It's definitely thicker cut. They went so thin on that first batch I got at Rodeo that it was almost like what is this? But the second batch was cut much better. So if you're not happy with it at an all you care to eat type
Supposed
of
to be a
place,
pencil. Think of a number 2 pencil. That's the thickness brisket should be.
yeah, it was way too thin. So the second one would have been about that thickness when I got. So if you're not happy with, just ask.
Yep.
Ask for more.
Yep.
That's, I think, the moral of the story. Our second round was much better. Our chicken was a hair drier in the second batch, but I think I blame the allergy on that because it sat like everything takes twice as long to get when you have an allergy. So we're used to sitting and waiting.
I'm pretty sure my food was cooked during my check-in time.
Yeah, it
and
just
so
sat there.
Like it sat there an hour and a half later, I finally got my food.
See, that's I think their game plan.
So,
Yeah.
all right, what else did you do? I know you had one more fun
One
thing.
other big thing, and that was seats and treats, Derek. Never done seats and treats. This is a firework dessert party at the Magic Kingdom, and it's a little more expensive because you sit and you don't move to watch fireworks. So,
First off, what do you think of the viewpoint?
you have to know what you're getting before you go do it. You're not looking straight on, right?
Yep.
You're off to the side. The fireworks are over here to the right. The castle's over here to the left.
Yep.
You see really quickly which fireworks are launched by the castle, which ones are not, right? Also, not every seat can see the fireworks because, well, there's a roof. So you have to go up a little bit to see them. So not every seat is created equally. However, we sat down, and about 10 minutes later, it started to pour.
Oh, of
like,
course.
Full on pour. So the
like
people,
that rain I had on my trip.
yeah, the people sitting by the edge got soaked. Our table, what was, the second row back in, which was, to start the horrible seat, all of a sudden became the best seat because we were dry. And the treats, a little bit better than what you get with the regular dessert party, just a couple more things.
I did see you got alcohol with it.
Yep, alcohol's included like the other dessert parties. So I got my one with the orange garnish.
Blue Moon.
Blue Moon. There you go. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, and they have a cookie decorating station. They also had crepes. And then lots of desserts, cheese, and then breads. They did not have crackers. They had little breads with the cheese, which I thought was weird. And then Michelle had to talk to the chef about her. So I didn't tell him about my allergy because I knew there was nothing on it. And I didn't want to have to deal with the allergy people. So I've been doing this long enough, right? Michelle's is new. Told him about gluten. She had to sit there. The lady finally brings a plate of just gluten-free stuff, right? All kinds of treats on it. But there was chocolate-covered strawberries on the buffet. And she's like, are the chocolate-covered strawberries not gluten-free? Because sometimes you put wheat in things as thickeners.
Yeah, yep.
She's like, oh, no, those are gluten-free, but there could be cross-contamination with the tongs at the buffet. She brought this tray from the back. The food was basically frozen on the gluten-free tray. And I did everything in my power, Derek, not to say, get the strawberry off of the tray in the back before you put it on the buffet. That solves the cross-contamination problem because you can't trust people to use the right tongs or the right things, which is a big issue for my allergy. I
can see that.
I struggle. So what I've done in the past is I grab a fork, stab what I want, and put it on. I don't care how the people look at me if they think I'm weird, but I don't want your tongs that were touching the mango thing to go touch the thing I can eat.
Yep.
So I went up to the buffet and just started getting stuff for Michelle that I knew was gluten-free. We asked to make sure. And they're just too lazy to put it on the stuff in the back. Like, why wouldn't you put chocolate strawberries on the gluten-free thing? There's also fruit. They didn't put any fruit. Same reason. Because, well, the tongs could have cross-contamination. Like,
they're being overly protective.
No, they're being lazy.
Okay.
They're being lazy. Because it's in the – they're just putting tray after tray out. Have a tray in the back. You take the crap off of to put on the things. So it angered me. I did not say a thing. I just went and got it. And the one
Way to be
cast
a
member
good
was like,
husband. I like it.
sir, you should use the tongs. I'm like, I'm getting this for my wife who has a gluten allergy, but your manager's too lazy to get this off in the back before it becomes on the buffet. So this is how I'm avoiding cross contamination. Oh, oh, oh! Like
Makes sense, yeah.
it took her a second. She's like,
Makes
oh, okay, yeah, you're not crazy. My manager is late. Okay, yep,
Yep.
yeah. So there you go. Seats and treats. It rained. They gave us ponchos. We got to leave with free ponchos.
Woo, yay.
That was the highlight.
Okay.
All right.
Let's talk about you went to Hollywood Studios
Yeah, we did
for
one rope
before
drop
the
at Hollywood
Okay.
Studios, and we got to the parking lot. We parked at 7:25 a.m. It was at 8 a.m. early entry. Just so you know, it took Michelle and the kids about 20 minutes of the early entry to get onto Slinky Dog. So if you're arriving there roughly 35 minutes before early entry starts, you're spending the first 25 minutes of early entry in line for Slinky Dog.
Yep.
Still your best move because they still made it to Rock and Roller Coaster before regular park opened. But that's not that early. You probably need to get there 7:15, 7:10 if it's at 8 a.m. early entry. So I just wanted to let you know 35 minutes, not early enough to be on the rope.
Yep.
Yeah.
I fell for that one on my trip. Just got there a little late. So
Right. We
happens.
go too much and we get lazy, Derek.
It
And
happens, totally.
yeah, so there you go.
So let's talk about I know after your cruise you went to Epcot. What kind of
Did.
time are you getting in from when you get off the ship to into the park?
So we were staying at Beach Club afterwards. So we went, ate breakfast with our dining team, didn't do express walk off, got called, picked up our bags, got in the car, drove, got to Beach Club at right around 9 a.m. We were in the park by about 9:15. It was a 9 a.m. opening. So we made it pretty quick. Felt pretty good about that. We didn't try to hurry, but that's when we went, did Soarin', did Living with the Land, and hit all those things. Just boom, boom, boom. And it worked out really well. We did some Nemo and Figment and other stuff that morning too, all before Guardians became available because Michelle bought that while we were at breakfast. So yeah.
Right. Well, that's pretty quick to get there.
Yeah.
So you can do it. We get that question.
You can.
Quite
We
a
could have
bit.
been off. We could have been off about a half hour earlier, maybe
Yep.
20 minutes. We didn't hustle.
You can do it. So people who have asked us that, you can get off the cruise ship and get to the parks and have a full day at the parks.
Yeah. Yes.
So a question I do have, since you did bring up Beach Club, how was your stay there?
We did a 2-bedroom villa
Oh, another
again.
one.
So able to compare apples to apples. And it was not remodeled. They say they're remodeling, but I didn't see any construction going on in any of the villa areas. I think the second floor is closed currently at the standard rooms for Beach Club, but this might be at the same speed at which they're building Moana Journey of Water.
Oh, my room at mine was not redone either the last time we were there.
It was lacking. One reason we stayed there was to have the washer and dryer. And for some reason, this unit, I believe it's because it's a handicap unit, just had the one individual thing that is the washer and
the dryer. Yeah, they don't work as well.
They don't actually dry clothes ever. And it's not like you have a clothesline to put stuff on. Like, I've never used one of those successfully.
Yep.
Also, no instructions on how to use it. There's about 1 million buttons. And like the lip inside of it was kind of gross. Like,
okay,
maybe we haven't cleaned it in a while.
Yeah, Beach Club needs that refurb in those villa rooms.
And the reason we stayed there was so Michelle could do laundry, so she'd be ready to go to Universal. She didn't have enough clothes for her and the girls. Like, she physically needed to do laundry.
I bet she loved that.
So that next morning they did not rope drop. And then Alden and I got up. We slept in a little. Our flight wasn't until noonish to come home. But yeah, Beach Club. It's got the best location. It is what it is. And the pool. But boy,
not good eating. And
They did
our room
not.
was, yeah, because remember when I told you about my
I
room the
know
last
the
time?
outlets are getting loose and things like there's barely any plugs, and I I love it. I love the beach club. It's my top two resorts. They did move Michelle for the next night, so she did have the washer dryer, so she got her laundry done.
Okay.
And we also met up with Raises. Shout out to the Raises
Oh,
while
yeah,
we
I
were
love
there
those
before
guys.
Seats and Treats. Um, so, but we've had fantastic rooms at Beach Club.
Yeah, we have. You
I
and I have stayed in
I
one.
I almost think they treat the regular rooms better
Oh,
than the
absolutely they do.
villas.
Yes, they do. That
There's
is
like a
for
double
sure.
standard, and it has nothing to do with being DVC or not, because we are not DVC and we stay in villas quite regularly because they have in Florida, they have to sell a certain percentage of
Yep.
rooms to the general public. So anybody can book a villa, right? And they get discounted regularly. So people, you can book villas. They're pretty awesome.
Hmm.
But like it's almost like they're like, oh, that's the villas. We're just that's not that's
Well,
it's over there.
they have other resorts that they're trying to remodel right now. Look at my room. That's probably remodeled for my trip. So that remodel crew, it's the 15 guys in each room. That's a lot of rooms they got to get to.
Oh, yeah. Well, Caribbean Beach has been remodeled so many times they can't like, and it takes so long to do it because there's so many rooms. It's
They
like
just start
the
going around.
products they're using are no longer manufactured by the time they get
That's
finished.
true.
Uh, I don't know. It's still. We walked into Epcot. We walked out of Epcot. They used the Skyliner multiple times. The day that Alden and I left, and the day after. So it's still a fantastic place to stay.
It is.
But boy, the management knows it. And going from the cruise ship where like you kind of sneeze funny and they're like, "What else can we get you, sir?" Like you don't eat your whole meal and they're like, "Oh, did you not like it?" It's like, "No, I'm full." Like, you know what? There's laundry down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right. Well,
Okay.
let's start finishing wrapping up because we got some big things we got to get to.
Yeah, let's
But I
talk
do
about
have a
a
note
flight.
that you want to talk about Alden running.
Yeah, so he ran a lot. I know there's a lot of runners that listen. He got lost at Saratoga Springs. He did not give Saratoga Springs an A plus. We thought it'd be a great place for him to run, but evidently he couldn't figure it out. But he loves running at Beach Club, Boardwalk, and Yacht Club. It's his favorite place to run, which was another reason why we chose that resort because he's in his summer running program for cross country. Has to run every day. He ran every day on the cruise ship. He did the Castaway 5K. So he ran. He loves Boardwalk. There you go, runners. Your little tidbit. I did not run.
No, you didn't.
No,
So,
I
okay.
didn't.
But what you did do is you flew
I flew.
home on a new airline. So, as we
Yes.
wrap up, let's talk about my home airport and their new flight direct to Orlando Redway, Doug. So, what do we think? First, if you want to know, the prices are ridiculously affordable.
Right. It is more in line with a budget airline price wise, at least right now. Who knows what could happen in the future? It started a couple weeks prior to my flight, so hasn't been doing it very long. They fly directs from Lincoln, Nebraska to Orlando twice a week, Thursdays and Sundays. I know they've added some dates for spring break that coincide with Lincoln Public Schools spring break. So the experience was good. It was a great flight, bumpy coming in, but that's because there's like 40-mile-an-hour winds in Lincoln for some
You
reason.
flew right
Thanks
over
a
my
lot, Derek.
house.
I did. You took a picture of me.
I know. It was so funny. I was working in my backyard, and by the way, we're not used to planes being this big flying into Lincoln, so I knew
Lincoln
right
Airport,
away.
no.
It was
Yeah.
like, "Grrr." I was like, oh, it must be done. I was like, oh, it's 3 o'clock. That's about the right time, and took a picture. I was like, yep, it was.
Had to be. So I hadn't flown in or out of the Lincoln Airport since college marching band, where I basically flew charter flights whenever the marching band went somewhere. Back when our football team was good, and we went to national championship games and things like that. Derek got to fly big, giant charter planes then.
Yeah.
But Lincoln Airport had 4 gates for a long time. They recently remodeled. Now they have 6.
Woohoo, we're
And
getting
it's
bigger.
very fancy inside. It is very nice inside the airport. I think the baggage claim is getting finished up. I don't know. I didn't check it back. So in Orlando, though, you fly out of Terminal C, which is a whole
Never been
different
there.
experience. It's basically JetBlue and a few other airlines right now. And it is gorgeous. It's huge. So much space.
They're trying to push some
Like,
flights there. They're trying to get
yeah,
that thing going.
It's connected to the terminals A and B by a little people mover type train thing. So if you do fly into Terminal C and you're taking, say, Mears Connect, you're going to have to take that over to the main airport, which would add about 10 minutes. It's a little bit of a walk over to it, but I went and checked out where that was so I could find it, and it's not a big deal. You ride that over, you can get to your Mears Connect or your Sunshine Flyer. There is rental cars at Terminal C, so if you fly into Terminal C, you can rent your car right there. Uber pick me up. Now, here's one hiccup. The airline is so new that when you go to you want to go to the airport, Uber makes you pick what airline you're going to have. Yeah, mine was not listed. So I ended up deleting that and then just putting Terminal C in, and that worked. I just had the driver take me to Terminal C. Terminal C is not that wide of a drop-off area, but it's listed as Globix Redway, so it's listed both ways. Sometimes it's Redway, sometimes it's Globix, it's a private charter airline that Redway is chartering flights on. So it's kind of a weird scenario, but it worked great. The seats, there was so much legroom, Derek. I was in regular seat. I wasn't in business class or anything. More legroom than Southwest.
Oh,
by
good
far.
to know.
And an outlet and a USB port.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah.
You know how many times I've needed a USB port on my flight?
Yeah. So my phone got more charged while flying home than it. Yeah, I landed with a fully charged phone,
That's
which
awesome.
is my favorite thing. So it's brand new airplane, still has that new airplane smell.
Okay.
I really enjoyed the flight. It was about 2/3 full, roughly. So it's new. There's still, getting the word out.
Yep.
But it was a great flight home. You check in person still. They don't have the online check-in going quite yet. I think that will get there. There's no app yet, but I don't really need an app. There is no Wi-Fi on the flight either. So,
download a movie.
A lot of people would compare it to, like, say, Frontier, because you pay for your seat, you pay for your bags. They also offer different tier levels that cover those things. So I did like the second tier. The lowest tier is the only one you have to pay for everything. Second tier included the seat choice, included a carry-on. So that's what I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I look forward to using it. I'm excited that my airport's now got a direct flight to Orlando and Vegas. So two of my favorite destinations to go to.
Yeah, Orlando, Vegas, Nashville, Atlanta,
Dallas,
Austin,
and Minnesota,
Dallas.
Minneapolis.
Yep. Yeah. So pretty exciting. I enjoyed it. They gave me chips and a drink. I got a Diet Pepsi. I don't know the last time I got a Pepsi on a flight.
That's weird.
That's a very Lincoln sort of thing right there. That's a Lincoln.
Yep.
That is 100% a Lincoln
does
thing.
Own
Pepsi.
part of my town. So there you go. Anyway, that's awesome. Excited for that. Definitely looking forward to trying out the airline as soon as I can. Just got to find, but I got to book a trip. And if you want to book a trip, you need to contact Touring Plans. They will help you book a trip. In fact, I have a couple trips that I booked this last week. So you know what? You talked about spring break. I got our spring break trip booked, Doug.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
I know. So staying at the Riviera in March. So looking forward to that. But yeah, we are, book a trip. It's in the show notes. And if you want to support the show as a Patreon, that is in the show notes as well. And please keep leaving reviews. And Doug, I'm glad you had a good time. Sounds like an awesome trip. And if you want to hear more about the cruise,
go check out Rope Drop on Deck. Yes, every Monday night it comes out.
There you go. All right, well, check that out, guys. And thank you so much for listening to Rope Drop Radio.